Ryan, what are some of the goals this week for the team?
Goals are improvement. We had a really good practice today. We'll practice full pads Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. A lot of good work, and just clean up technique, details, fundamentals.
Any clarity on the quarterback situation, how you handle that moving forward?
They've both taken reps with the ones right now, sort of splitting 50-50. I can see a scenario where they both play. We'll see kind of how this week plays out, but both of them kind of give different strengths, different weaknesses, and both of them give us a shot. So we'll see how this week plays.
You think you'd use both in a game?
Yeah, I can see a scenario where we could do that. I can see them on the field at the same time.
I guess what are sort of the parameters of this? Like, is it sort of a practice competition between them for the next 2 weeks, or is it, I guess, more holistic than that?
I think it's a little more holistic. We're always evaluating a competition. There's always competition. Now, the thing that is unique about that position is there's only one of them on the field. But the team is comfortable with both of them. I think both of them give us a chance to win, especially, with the way we're playing offensively. And so, whoever gives us the best chance will be out there at any given moment.
There's sort of, I think, an old adage in sports that a guy shouldn't lose his job because of an injury.
Right.
At the same time, there's a performance evaluation that goes on here. I guess, how do you reconcile that? The kind of the idea of fairness versus...
Exactly. And that was one of the conversations that we had with the two of them was, Hudson got hurt, and you don't want anybody to lose their position because of that. But you can't ignore the way Ryan played, especially in that second half of the Illinois game. And so, it is a fine line, and they both understand that, which is why I think they're both completely bought in to sharing and splitting reps, at least this week. So we'll see what that looks like.
Coach, how much of that decision is kind of like matchup-based, opponent-based?
I think it's more like what we're doing offensively. Like what, obviously like the last two games have looked a lot different than the offense has looked since I've been here. And so I think, it is fun to see Hud in that style of offense. And at the same time, Ryan just adds an extra element and is special on the ground. So, it's just we'll see who gives us the best chance.
Have you been around or involved with a two quarterback at the same time situation that has worked without some of the pitfalls that go along with that, whether that's dividing a locker room or the confusion that can...
I think their relationship is a little bit unique, and I've been at a situation at Oklahoma where they were playing two guys for different reasons. You see Nebraska plays two quarterbacks for different in different scenarios, different reasons. So I could see depending on the situation, the scenario, and who we're playing and what they're presenting, a case where you play two guys. Obviously, you want a guy to be able to get in a rhythm. That's going to be playing the majority of the snaps. But at the same time, I think Ryan's earned and deserves reps, and I think Huddy operates well in this style of offense. So, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see how this week plays out, and whoever gives us the best chance to go win a week from Saturday.
With the false starts and the penalties, how are you coaching that in practice? Are you yourself blowing the whistle, or how are you guys?
Yeah, and we've sort of changed up the cadence. Obviously, like different when you have a quarterback for the majority of the season, like his cadence is a little bit different than Ryan's, right? And his operation is a little bit different. So just getting some continuity there, so that we're not shooting ourselves in the foot, especially on early downs, against the number one team in the country. Like, you can't have situations like that. So that was definitely a point of emphasis today, and we've worked just different tempos with the cadence.
C.J. Smith still good to go?
Yeah, absolutely. He looked great today.
Any update on Nyland Green?
Nyland's improving, quicker than I think we anticipated. He's able to run around a little bit now, and so we'll see when he be able to put on pads and can he actually function as a football player. But he is improving.
You will continue to call plays?
On offense, yes.
You have no involvement in defense at all?
No, there's not enough time in the day. So, again, we have a defense coordinator, we have a special teams coordinator. We don't have an offense coordinator, so I'd be negligent of myself not to spend the majority of my time on that side of the ball.
What has Smiley Bradford done that made him the next guy up when Nyland was
Well, he's playing like the safety, so he's not replacing Nyland, but he is playing in one of those safety spots. And really coming out of spring ball and fall camp, he would have been slotted there. Obviously, he broke his collarbone and couldn't play until the Wisconsin game. But just his savviness and his willingness to play physical, play tough, I think he's going to be a good player for us and have a bright future and a bright career.
Do you think Oregon was just a lot better prepared to face Ryan and just kind of that loss of the element of surprise, if you will? Or?
No, I just think they're the #1 team in the country. You know what I mean? You know, if there was something that simulates like NFL speed, I think that's the closest I've played against. You know, I played some really good Alabama teams, and you know they might be bigger, but in terms of the speed of the game, like they're fast. You know, and so you know, we were still able to rush for over 200 yards. You know, so that I think you know Ryan's ability to run sort of freed up some lanes. Like they did not want him to pull it. So it let the running backs kind of get loose a little bit. So, yeah, I thought that's why the game sort of played out the way it played out.
How do you guys stay focused? Is there sort of a circle of the wagons mentality here?
No, like, the focus is on improving every day. You know, obviously the season has not gone the way we wanted it to start and to go. But I do think like there has been improvement. Like you had the Illinois game and you know, you're starting a redshirt freshman at quarterback, and there's some life there. You know, obviously Oregon is Oregon, and you know, we had chances and opportunities. But you know, I think they're better than Notre Dame, and we didn't play well at all. We played abysmal in the Notre Dame game, and they had chances, you know, last Saturday. So the goal is just to continue to improve and see improvement against Northwestern and the rest of the season.
You got staffers hitting the road to recruit. What's the message to the guys out there?
You know, the message is still the message. Like you've got an opportunity to come in and contribute. Purdue is still a great place to play and to go to school. And you know, we still have all the things that are here that they fell in love with in the first place.
Is the 2025 class, is that the priority of what you guys are doing this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are there priorities within that, things specifically that you're trying to find still for this class?
Yeah, there's still positional needs, you know, but we're trying to go see the guys that we have committed already and go see them play. It'll be a good chance to sort of see them live and in action.
Coach, how does such a tough schedule this year kind of help in the near future, the next few years, in terms of just players and staff, not just seeing that level of competition, but feeling it, like you said, for the first time?
Yeah, I think it'll pay dividends moving forward. Like, we got a lot of young guys that are playing. You know what I mean? You know, even the transfers that we've gotten that have played in significant roles, they're all, you know, most of them are sophomores and starting for the first time. So I think, you know, going through this type of schedule and you know, being hit in the mouth and facing adversity and you know, having to block out the noise and the negativity, you know, they'll be battle tested moving forward. You know, you got, you know, like I said, you got Ryan Brown as a freshman. You got, you know, Dylan Thieneman, Will Helt, and others that are sophomores. You know, you guys will see C.J. Smith next week. He's a sophomore. You know, there's a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there that are playing. So they've had 2 years now where they've played really tough opponents and have seen the best in the country, and so I think it'll pay dividends moving forward.
You talked about you're eager to see Hudson in this style of offense. Just in your words, what is this style of offense now? How has it changed?
I just think there's a little more versatility in terms of the run game and how that marries up with sort of the play action and the throw game. You know, obviously you've seen the Qs sort of get out of the pocket a little bit more, and it just makes the defense play with all 11 on the field. And there's also been a point of emphasis to try to push the ball vertically. That was difficult last weekend just because of the speed of Oregon's defense and you know, how fast, you know, not only they are in the secondary but they are up front. But it is different. So, you know, like I said, it's fun to see him run around and enjoy it.
Does Hudson need to also, I guess, better handle his aspect of the run game than maybe he was earlier this season, especially in those zone read situations?
Yeah, well, we didn't really ask him to do a whole lot in the run game prior prior to what he's being asked to do now. We had a couple zone read type plays, that he may or may not have read right. You know what I'm saying? But all the scenarios that we put him in today, he made the right read. So that was promising, and like I said, it's fun to see both of them sort of have fun with it.
Anything else for Coach?
Any fun off the field activities planned this weekend?
No, man.
Team bonding, nothing like that?
No, we got school, football, and we got stuff to work on. So
Understood. Thanks, Coach.
How much is there sort of like a self-scouting element that goes on with
a lot,
the staff this week?
a lot. Especially for me, just basically I got 2 games to catalog, right? And there are some tendencies that I got to break. So it's good information and a good time to sort of reset and put a good game plan moving forward.
Do you evaluate yourself the way a defensive coordinator would be evaluating
Yeah,
you
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it is that part of it is fun too. You know what I mean? Just to kind of see, all right, if I was playing against myself, this is what I would do because of how many times you do this out of this formation or this backfield. So they're good tendency breakers, and we worked on a couple of them today.
You've had a couple of situations, short yardage situations, and I think they were set up by things you were doing earlier in the game, running the ball, and you chose to pass.
Yeah.
Would you take those play calls back, looking back on it?
I mean, yeah, in hindsight, like you always, you can always play Monday quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes they get you, sometimes they don't. There was about 2 times where if we would have ran it, we might have got the first down, and we didn't. You know what I mean? But there are also other times where we've gotten first downs, and so it's just a cat and mouse game that way.